Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Your Wellbeing Matters podcast. My name's Emma Winter, Staff Retention and Wellbeing Lead. I'm joined here by Juliana.
And I'm Juliana Frederick-James, Head of Equality and Human Rights for the Trust.
And thank you for joining us. So this week we're excited to share with you our Strategy and Wellbeing Week. So there's going to be lots going on. Some of you may have seen some stuff coming out already, but we'll basically be cascading and sharing all the news about our new trust strategy, taking it to the next stage. So there'll be lots of information coming out to you this week, and Juliana and I are going to talk about some elements to the strategy. But first, let's take a look at what Oxleas are prioritising.
Over the past 3 years, we've taken our strategy forward by improving services, increasing service user and carer involvement, and making Oxleas a better place to work. Learning from this and feedback from patients, staff and partners, we've developed our plans for the future. We are prioritising great care. We want to deliver kind, compassionate, high-quality care. Timely care. We want to deliver the right care at the right time. Best place to work. We want Oxleas to be the best place to work in the NHS. We are committed to equity for all, strong patient and carer involvement, being a force for good in local communities, cultivating continuous improvement, creating a thriving, safe, listening and learning culture, partnerships, innovation, embedding sustainability, and living within our means. We look forward to working with you to put this into action. For more information, visit oxleas.nhs.uk.
So now we're up to speed with the trust strategy. Myself and Juliana are going to focus on the best place to work priority and what that really means, how people can be involved. So we've made some great progress over the past few years with our HSG Trust of the Year Award, Sunday Times Award. We've also seen a real increase in our staff survey engagement and scores, as well as our retention. But we know there's more we can do, so it really is, we're taking it to the next stage. So best place to work, how does that happen? What can we do to deliver that? And how can you be involved? So one of the areas in the strategy is around creating and maintaining healthy teams. So we know that we can't be the best place to work if we don't have strong, healthy teams working together. So what part of that is building on our programs already. And one of those programs is BAFO. So I've got Juliana here, the expert, to talk about BAFO and what that really means. So we kind of see it, don't we, dotted around everywhere, BAFO, but do people actually know what it means, what it involves, and how they can be part of it? So could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, so BAFO is just short for Building a Fairer Oxleas. And we all know that the whole point of us coming to work is to deliver the best that we can for the people that we care for. Oxleas recognises that in order to do that, our staff have to feel that this is a safe and welcoming and inclusive environment, and that is precisely what Building a Fairer Oxleas is giving us the opportunity to do. And for most people, the best way to get involved is our 5-step challenge. And if you haven't got involved in the 5-step challenge, now is your time to get involved in the 5-step challenge. And the 5-step challenge is just an opportunity for every team to look at some difference that exists in your team. Take the time to look at that difference, get people to share what it feels like to be the different person in that space, and then think about how we can actually support one another and work really well together and make this a safe place for everyone. The difference doesn't always have to be something that you can see, but it can be sometimes as obvious as there's only one man in your team.
Yes,
that's a big difference, What does that feel like for that poor soul? How do we work together with that person, make them feel a little bit more included than we do at the moment? And that's what I think we want to be doing.
Yeah, and I think we sort of take for granted that actually how these things, you know, we're all busy in our day-to-day work, but actually take for granted what that means to people to feel in that safe space and how it affects their well-being and things. So if people shared with you kind of the benefits of doing the 5-step challenge and what it means to them?
Oh yes, many of the teams who have completed the 5-step challenge are celebrating. They're going to have an event this month.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's in next week even, or the week
End
after.
of the month,
yeah.
yes.
There's going to be something at the end of the month where everyone's going to come together and really celebrate what they've done. But what people have found really helpful about the 5-step challenge and having the conversations is it's just about acknowledging the difference and valuing the difference.
Yeah.
It gives you that opportunity to go, yeah, that's true, you know, I hadn't thought about it that way. And then think, what else can we do to help one another feel that, you know, people are just as important as everyone else is. This isn't about one group being considered more important than anyone else. That's not what this is about. This is about creating safe working environments for everyone so that when we're delivering the care that we can deliver, we're doing it to the best of our ability and bringing all the good things that we can do together.
Yeah, and I think that's something Oxleas are really going to be sort of focusing on as well as part of the strategy, is taking that time to pause. You know, we're all guilty of that, but actually it's actually it's very precious to take that time to work things out amongst the teams. And so when people want to get involved with the 5-step challenge, what's the process in terms of starting that process?
Well, it's very easy. We have a BAFO page on our website and everyone can go on the intranet and find all the resources they need to. You don't necessarily have to be an expert in anything. You can just be interested in something. So you might decide to have a conversation about something that you know very little. There are lots of resources that you can use to help generate that conversation. One of our favourites is our in one another's shoes.
Okay.
And if you use that as an example of thinking about things in a slightly different way and maybe putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, it's a really nice way to start that conversation, especially if you don't know what you want to talk about. Sometimes teams are really good.
Sounds really good.
They've got lots of things they want to talk about. They've got a list, and then you have to choose which of the list you're going to talk about. But sometimes it's just about taking a little bit of time, and it doesn't have to be, no one has to be an expert, because none of us are experts in everything.
Yeah, and I quite like that idea of, you know, every team's unique. So, you know, that's why those team challenges are done on those team basis, because actually it's going to take that challenge to work out, you know, that team and those particular things that are going to work for that team.
Absolutely.
That sounds really good. So there's going to be a lot more information coming out this week about BAFO, and we hope you take some time to engage with the new strategy. Look out for our Wellbeing Champions this week. They're going to be coming around with the senior team, dropping by, talking about the strategy and also our wellbeing resources. We have our Wellbeing Hub, so that's the QR code you can scan, or it's also on the Ox. And we've added some new resources on there, so I hope you take some time to look at the hub. We've also got an art competition this week. Do we like a bit of art, Juliana?
No, babe, I can't do that. That's not me. I can try, but I'm not a drawer. I can't do that.
Well, I wouldn't say it's my strengths. My daughter's got quite into art recently, so she's actually made me take some time out to do a bit of art. She likes drawing and colouring. So we have a wellbeing activity, and that's our art competition. So you'll be receiving some information about the competition, and we want you to basically illustrate what great care means to you. So that could be, you know, it could be in form of words, picture, painting, colouring, whatever it might be. Any ideas, Juliana? What would you think
It's really hard, actually, isn't it? Because when you think about care, I mean, I think all of us would think of a heart and we'd think of hands because, you know, people help one another holding hands.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me, great care is about treating people the way you would want people that you love to be treated. Not necessarily you, because you'll take a level of abuse, wouldn't you, really? But you wouldn't take it for somebody that you love.
No, yeah.
So what would that look like? So for me, it would just be a big heart, you know, with all of us in it. But that's dry. So, you know, you have to think of something. And I know there's some really creative people out there that can come up with really exciting things. But for me, it's just a heart, really, because it's just about bringing love to what we do.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think people comes to mind. That's what I think of people. But as part of the competition, we're doing different categories, so you can involve young people if you want to. So it'd be really interesting to sort of ask them that question and see what they draw on there. And we'll be giving out some prizes to our winners as well. So have a think, get your competition entries in, and if you can send those to the communications inbox. And I think the deadline's on the 1st of November. So there's plenty of time to go away and have a think about that. Other than that, enjoy Wellbeing Week. We hope you take some time to read through our strategy and how you can be involved. And thanks for your time in joining us. And thank you, Juliana.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.